Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to one and all present here. We are delighted to start with the internship program. I, Vandana Chaudhary, would like to start with a beautiful quote by Sir Walter Scott that a lawyer without history or literature is a mechanic, a merely working mason, but if he possesses some knowledge of these, he may venture to call himself as an architect. I'm most honored to introduce our speaker, who will be our mentor and guide for next 10 days of the internship program. We all are delighted to have such an eminent person with us who has a dynamic legal experience of more than 21 years. Ma'am started her practice from Andheri Mumbai Metropolitan Magistrate and had done her juniorship for 5 years, which had made her full-fledged in trial courts. Later on, she got exposure to matrimonial disputes, where she did excellent work and was known as one of the leading lawyers in resolving disputes with her enriched experience. Later on, after 12 years of her practice, she went to Delhi, studied and practiced in Supreme Court for 2.5 years, and cleared advocate on record of Supreme Court. Since last 6 years, ma'am have experience as an advocate on record of Honorable Supreme Court at New Delhi. Ma'am have taken large number of bails from honorable session courts and have done more than 2,000 matrimonial disputes in Bandra, Family Court, Thane, and Panvel. Ma'am have been a column writer on the legal subject and has written in various magazines and in newspapers such as Samna, Navkal, Yuva Sakar, Maharashtra Times, and the Me magazines. Since last 1 year, due to pandemic situation, ma'am have started making videos on various law subjects for the upcoming lawyers. All the videos are available on YouTube. And lastly, I would like to inform you all that ma'am is also coming out very soon with a book on legal drafting for the upcoming lawyers. Now over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Very good afternoon to all. I'm too delighted and feeling encouraged and motivated myself to be coming in your shoes and trying to share my knowledge. In fact, I won't say that I'm senior, I'm 21 years old. Let me say I'm always a student and you will always be student. In legal field, you will always find that the senior of the most lawyers, they will tell that no, I'm still a student of the law. The same thing applies to me and all of you. Now, I welcome all of you to this legal fraternity. Trust me, there is no retirement here. Till whatever age you want to do, you can practice. We have Attorney General who is in the 80th decade of his life. So we can understand, see, there is no end. You never know where you will reach, but the only mantra of success, you have to keep on doing. So beginning, I would like to tell all of you that you may be first generation lawyer. Because of that, don't take in your mind that if I am first generation lawyer, I will not make it. It's not true. What is true, I will tell you. True is that you will succeed. And number one, I am telling you that hard work is the number one requirement of this field as well as whatever you have done achieved. If you have double graduated, that is graduation plus the LLB degree, or those who are in the 5 course, for 17 years or 18 years, if you have put in up your life into these studies, so you are going to make a mark in this field. The only thing I would always tell you that you keep on doing hard work. Secondly, I would tell you the reading is the key. I will be having in all my internship one thing that you have to keep on reading. You cannot just that I am not going to read. We read newspaper, but reading newspaper, we read books is a different thing. What you have to do, that you have to keep on reading the legal subjects. Whatever it may be a newspaper, and there may be people who will be telling, how do I get the legal books? There are people who tells me I am staying in a remote village at Usmanabad, I don't have any newspaper English. It's fine, completely. You have a connection, that is enough. You have a Marathi newspaper, please go and find out Marathi newspaper. At least on the first page and the second third page you will find, on also on the editorial page you will find news from Supreme Court, news from Bombay High Court. If you're in Maharashtra, if you're in Punjab, Chandigarh, you will find the news from the Punjab and Haryana High Court in Delhi. So whatever, I remember when I was in a position not to buy anything, Even if a vada pav is bought and I used to find an English newspaper, I used to read and I used to note down the words and find a dictionary and the meaning of the same. So there is no end to it. And I would say you have to keep on continuing doing it. And as you opted to become a lawyer, the first thing I would tell all of you, please, please give some time, devote some time to legal studies every day. There are sometime it is told to you, whenever a case comes to you, start reading on that subject. Apart from that, you are in a very initial period, is a possibility you may not get a case. Then also nothing stops you from reading the judgments. And luckily you are in an era where at the click of the mouse, there are many web portals, in fact, legal web portals, which are providing news, which are providing judgments, which are providing the Privy Council. Privy Council was established at the time of the British rule. Now, when British rule was there were many judgments from Privy Council. If you read the judgments, the language of the judgments is too good and which can be imbibed today. Today, as the session progress, I will also take up some legal words and try to improve legal vocabulary along with all of you. So trust me, this internship is a program of learning me also along with you. Don't consider me as your senior, just consider me as your friend who also wants to, I would say, revisit my knowledge, repolish my knowledge and relearn with all of you. So today we will start with Janvi reading the one judgment. Just a minute. Janvi, with what name you have joined?
Ma'am, with Janvi Ahuja only.
आपका इधर नाम नहीं आ रहा जानवी. Ahuja.
Ma'am, list.
Just a minute. Okay. You have not started the video. Kindly start the video.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute. And I'll share the screen with all of you. Janvi, can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yes, yes. Just a minute. This is Delhi High Court judgment, very recent judgment. Can members of the scheduled tribes following Hindu customs claim to be kept out of the purview of the Hindu Marriage Act? SC, that is High Court, answers, highlights need for uniform civil code. Janvi, start reading from questions for consideration.
Okay, ma'am. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity. So, question for consideration: applicability of the Hindu Marriage Act.
Please.
Applicability of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 in respect of the parties who belonged to the Meena community in view of the exclusion under Section 2 Clause 2 of the HMA Act 1955. Petitioner and respondent sought divorce under Section 13(1)(a) of the HMA 1955, and FIR was lodged by the respondent under the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, as also an application seeking maintenance under Section 125 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. In the divorce petition, since the respondent did not appear, she proceeded ex parte. However, after she was permitted to participate by the Supreme Court, she filed an application under Order 7 Rule 10 and Order 7 Rule 11 of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908 before the Family Court. In the said application, respondent sought for rejection of the divorce petition on the ground that the provisions of the HMA 1955 do not apply to the parties, on the ground that the provisions of HMA do not apply to the parties concerned as they are members of notified scheduled tribes in Rajasthan, and hence then and hence the HMA 1955 would not be applicable to the case of the said parties in view of Section 2, Clause 2 of the HMA 1955. Family Court held that the provisions of HMA 1955 do not extend to the MENA community, which was a notified scheduled tribe. The said order was under challenge in the present petition. Analysis, law, and decision. Bench noted that the case of the wife was that the MENA community was covered by the exclusion under Section 2, Clause 2 of the HMA. Divorce petition under Section 13, 1A of the 1IA of the HMA was dismissed by the trial court on the basis of the exclusion in Section 2, Clause 2 of HMA 1955. The trial court had not conducted the trial in the petition or considered the evidence in the matter, but summarily dismissed the petition simply on the ground that since the parties belong to the MENA community, the provisions of the HMA 1955 would not be applicable. Court noted that the parties have since inception pleaded that they belong to the MENA community. However, their marriage was solemnized according to the Hindu rites and ceremonies, and they follow Hindu customs. Respondent wife had admitted that the marriage was conducted as per the Hindu Riti Rivas, that the marriage was effected by following the Saptapadi, that the marriage was conducted in front of Agni, fire. Whether in the view of the above facts, parties ought to be governed by the provisions of the HMA or should they be relegated to the procedures of the MENA tribe. The word Hindu is not defined in any of the statutes. It is in view of the fact that there is no definition of Hindu that the Supreme Court has held in Labeshwar Manji versus Pran Manji 2008 SPCC 587 that if members of tribes are Hinduized, the provisions of the HMA 1955 would be applicable. Further, the High Court expressed that the manner in which the marriage has been conducted in the present manner and the customs being followed by the parties show that, as in the case of Hindus, the marriage is conducted in front of the fire. The Hindu customary marriage involves the ceremony of Saptapadi, which has also been performed in the present case. The various other ceremonies, as is clear from the marriage invitation, are also as per Hindu customs. Hence, if members of a tribe voluntarily choose to follow Hindu customs, traditions, and rites, they cannot be kept out of the purview of the provisions of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Adding to the above, High Court also stated that nothing was placed before the court to show that the MENA community tribe had a specialized court with proper procedures to deal with the issue. Therefore, the court has to choose between relegating parties to the customary courts, which may or may not provide for proper procedures and safeguards as against codified statutes envisioning advocate safeguards and procedures. This court is inclined to lean in favor of an interpretation in favor of the latter, especially in view of the binding precedent of the Supreme Court. Divorce proceedings. Court held that if
Wait. Janvi, wait.
Okay, ma'am.
Very well read. Thank you so much, Janvi. Now we will try to understand this judgment and why I made you to read. And it's for all of you to understand. See, this is a free web portal. To some extent, not everything is allowed. That is SCC online blog. Can all of you see this? Secondly, this can members of the scheduled tribe following Hindu customs claim to be kept out of the purview of HMA. यहाँ हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट की भी बात हुई है and also they are talking about the Scheduled Tribes Act. Now see why the Scheduled Tribes Act has to be discussed here. So when you read a judgment, you get a knowledge of Hindu Marriage Act. You also know there is a MENA community in the which is a scheduled tribe. Now here they have whenever you draft a petition of the any divorce matter, you will be making an averment the parties are not governed by the section 2/2 of the HMA Act, where it is saying that if it is scheduled tribe, they have their own customary way for divorce. They do not follow Hindu dharma. Now here, though they were from scheduled tribe, Saptapadi was performed. Before fire, there was a Fera also. Now, because of these two conditions, see, when we learn the judgment, we read the judgment, we also know what are requirements of the Hindu Marriage Act, or how it will be called Hindu. Here, the parties were from Meena community. It was said that they were following Hindu rituals. So the petition of the petitioner will be allowed under Hindu Marriage Act. It will contested under Hindu Marriage Act. Now, this is the what I would say analysis and the law laid down, and also the decision. At the end of which we have not gone, this court, Delhi High Court is saying, why not have a uniform civil code? Now, when we talk about uniform civil code, which means that there should be similar laws for all the castes and all the people of the country. Now, for Hindus, we have a different laws. We also have Muslims different laws. We have Christian different laws. Now here, see, if we read this para, I'm just marking Article 44. Now, Article 44 is about what? Uniform Civil Code. See, when we read a judgment, so many things come to our knowledge. It's not only you're reading a judgment. Need a uniform code has been again echoed by Supreme Court in ABC versus State, NCT Delhi. तो आपको और एक जजमेंट मिल गया है. उसके ऊपर एक जजमेंट है जॉर्डन वर्सेस Dingde versus SS Chopra 85. The Supreme Court observed the context of the dissolution of marriage between a couple wherein the wife belonged to Naga tribe and the husband was a Sikh by religion. To the Article 44 of the Constitution needs to be implemented in its letter and spirit. The word, see, आपको जो law है वो letter and spirit में apply करना है. This is the language you get to know. So you have to read judgment. So you read one judgment, you find so many things. You find Hindu Marriage Act. You also find कि जब tribals होता है तो उनको कौन सा laws apply होता है. So this way you also understand how to draft a petition. Now to understand यहाँ से मैं कैसे petition draft करूँगा. So this is an issue very differently taken, and uniform civil code that is under Article 44 is also we have been enlightened by the Honorable High Court of Delhi. But then if you keep on reading, you will understand कि उनका जो सप्तपदी हुआ था, उनका जो marriage हुआ था, वो fire के सामने हुआ था. I will just find out for you कि सप्तपदी के बारे में उन्होंने क्या लिखा है. See, respondent wife admitted that the marriage was conducted as per the Hindu Riti Rivaj, that the marriage was effected by following the Saptapadi, that the marriage was conducted in front of Agni, fire. So, ये सब requirements है Hindu Marriage Act. So, when you read a judgment, you get to know so many things. जैसे मीना community का, अगर if you are from Rajasthan, तो मीना कम्युनिटी में या मीना ट्राइब में कैसे होता है डिवोर्स, उनका कोई प्रोसीजर्स है क्या. महाराष्ट्र में ऐसे बोलते हैं काड़ी मोड़, मतलब एक ऐसे काड़ी होती है, मतलब उसको लकड़ी होती है, बोलते हैं वो तोड़ दिया पंचायत में, तो पंचायत में भी डिवोर्स होता है. तो ये भी आपको नॉलेज होना चाहिए कि आप जब महाराष्ट्र में रहते हैं तो जो कस्टम दैट इज कॉल्ड कस्टमरी डिवोर्स. तो कस्टमरी डिवोर्स एंड कोर्ट डिवोर्स इज टोटली डिफरेंट. तो अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू नो ऑल दिस, आपको मालूम ही नहीं होगा कि ऐसा भी कुछ होता है. तो आपको उसके लिए जजमेंट पढ़ना बहुत ही जरूरी है. एंड दिस वाज वन एग्जांपल. आई फाउंड कि ये जजमेंट थोड़ा इजी है समझने के लिए, बट सी व्हेन आई रेड द जजमेंट, आर्टिकल 44 पता चला हमको, हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट पता चला, देन रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ हिंदू मैरिज कंडीशंस क्या है, देन सो मेनी थिंग्स कि ट्राइबल अगर लोग है तो उनमें जो मैरिजेस होगा, अगर वो दे आर नॉट फॉलोइंग हिंदू धर्म और वो लोग अगर अपना ट्राइब का फॉलो करते हैं, शेड्यूल कास्ट है या ओबीसी है, तो उनका अपना रूल्स है क्या, एंड दैट रूल्स फॉर डिवोर्स इट इज कॉल्ड कस्टमरी डिवोर्स. सो दिस वर्ड कस्टमरी डिवोर्स, अब ये कौन सी चीज है, अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू रीड जजमेंट्स यू विल नॉट नो. सी दिस जजमेंट इज जस्ट ऑफ few months back and it is saying कि customary divorce in 21st century when we are talking about customary divorce, so that means हमको मालूम होना चाहिए. So when you go to court you cannot say in 21st century customary divorce क्या चीज होता है. As a lawyer you are supposed to know everything about all this. Now we will go to next reading which I will do, that is about legal vocabulary. Some of you can note down, I'm recording this, still some of you can note down the words if you have pen and paper ready. Now this is bar and bench portal. यहाँ पर भी आपको बहुत कुछ रीडिंग करने को मिलेगा. You have to take a subscription which is 700 for students and for lawyers I believe it is more. Just check out with that, and even if you don't take a, you are allowed to read little part of the bar and bench even without subscription. I'm making use of all this and trying to enrich my knowledge. Now, is your private health data even private anymore? Now, just go through this article. It is written by Ipsita Agarwal. In 2017, the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare introduced the National Health Policy, which for the first time envisaged the creation of the digital health ecosystem in the country. I just read one para and there are so many words and I am picking up one word, that is envisage. Now what is the envisage? Envisage the creation of digital health ecosystem in the country. If you read 100 judgments, the word envisage will come at least 10 times in 100 judgments. The meaning of is to imagine, to think of something being possible in future. So here, well, see, the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare introduced the National Health Policy, which for the first time envisaged, उन्होंने सोचा, उन्होंने imagine किया. So this word is very common. So it is not to teach you English. You all may be very capable people, but then this language has to be incorporated in your drafting. Envisage. You have to use it. And how to use this word, you will only know when you will keep on reading the judgments. Now, next I am taking. Subsequently, with the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic across the country on August 15, 2020, the Prime Minister announced the launch of National Digital Health Mission to give fruition to the idea of unified digital healthcare. Now here two words. Now the onslaught everybody knows कि violent attack हो सकता है या फिर strongly उसको criticize करना. Now it has been criticized. COVID-19 का pandemic subsequently with the onslaught of COVID-19 pandemic across. तो यहाँ पर attack नहीं है, but COVID-19 का जैसे ही attack हुआ across the country. The onslaught, this word has to be important. Now next word is here, fruition. This is also very new word to myself also. Everybody know fruit क्या होता है. Now fruition, why it is the time when plan become, मतलब बोलते हैं ripe हो गया, plan ready हो गया, तो plan become successful. Now here to give fruition to the idea of unified digital healthcare. See, unified digital healthcare लानी थी, तो उसको fruition दिया गया. Fruition दिया गया, उसको बीज बोया गया और उसको fruit निकला. मतलब वो future में उसका plan ready होने वाला है, successful होने वाला है. Now this word fruition, you may not regularly use it, but if you learn 100 words, you are going to use these words. The NDHM aimed at developing an integrated everybody know कि एक साथ complete एक together system that would serve the needs of various stakeholders and improve efficiency in linking the healthcare sector. One of the primary goals of NDHM is the creation of a unique health identifier which would facilitate integration, they see integration coming again and again, of health data across various applications and create a longitudinal electronic health record for citizens. Essentially, this UHID is meant to be a repository of health-related information for each citizen of the country. Now here word आया है repository. अब repository क्या होता है? Place or a container जिसमें एक साथ सारी information is completely kept together. Now this is अगर ये digital जो भी UHID बन रहा है तो इसमें पूरा repository एक साथ health उसको बोलेंगे कि सारा data एक साथ putting all data together. तो repository everybody know this word comes from deposit. तो डिपॉजिटरी वर्ड नहीं है लेकिन यहाँ पर ये रिपोजिटरी है तो यू शुड बी एबल टू यूज दिस वर्ड रिपोजिटरी. I'll come to later why we are reading this. From its very inception, now the unique health identity scheme was promised to be voluntary exercise whereby obtaining the consent of citizen was mandatory before generating a health ID for them. From its very inception means beginning. आप जब शुरुआत से तो when I draft a divorce petition, I will say from its very inception, the respondent was very different and very awkward and was also very difficult to handle from its very inception of marriage के शुरुआत से. So you can use these words and inception is also repeatedly used in the judgments. Moreover, time and again, government reiterated that sharing Aadhaar details would not be mandatory and that the health ID could be created on the basis of one's mobile number and other demographic details as well. Now, this is the most popular words. Moreover, time and again, the government reiterated. If you can see this reiterated word. Reiterate को बोलना reinforce करना, बार बार कहना. Now reiterate to repeat. आप बार बार एक ही चीज को repeat करते हो. तो I am reiterating my arguments before this court. I am reiterating my statement, which was also there in my written statement, which was also there in my evidence. तो आपको reiterate करना है, बार बार repeat करना है. तो you cannot use word repeat. I repeat, I reiterate whatever is mentioned in my written statement. So reiterate is also very popular word in legal language, legal vocabulary. Usage of Aadhaar details or linking the health ID to one's Aadhaar card was evangelized as a purely voluntary and consent-based process. Curiously, what has taken effect in practice is that from around April-May 2021, the National Health Authority, which is the organization responsible for implementation of NDHM, has been surreptitiously issuing health IDs to citizens under the garb of procuring personal information, including Aadhaar details for the vaccination drive against COVID-19. Now the word is used here surreptitiously. अब surreptitiously का मतलब है secretly या काफी doubtful. Now when you are using surreptitiously, this is when I have read few judgments. I can claim that in 21 I have read many judgments. तो surreptitiously ये word बार बार repeat हुआ है. तो surreptitiously मतलब secretly, doubtfully. यहाँ पर कुछ तो बात है जो doubtfully issuing, surreptitiously, secretly issuing health IDs to the citizens under the garb of procuring personal information including Aadhaar card. तो आपको ये भी knowledge होना चाहिए कि ये वर्ड्स कहाँ यूज करें. Neither prior consent nor intimation that their Aadhaar details will ultimately be used to create a unique health ID have been given to the citizens. See, the next line is making sense कि जो prior consent नहीं लिया गया है तो आपने बिना बताए मेरा मतलब इंफॉर्मेशन सारा ले लिया है. तो surreptitiously your knowledge has been taken. आपका आधार कार्ड का सारा इंफॉर्मेशन ले लिया गया है. This is what this article is telling us. It is absolutely shocking to see that till date, the average Indian citizen is not even aware that they now possess a 14-digit health ID, which has been dubiously incorporated in the electronically generated vaccination certificate. See, when I am also reading, I am also making mistake. So I'm telling you, I am also learning with you. Dubiously, I may not use in regular life, but when I'm writing in the code, I'm supposed to. Now dubious मतलब एक adjective है, doubtful है. तो सारा ये जो खेल है वो ये language का है. Language should be very ornamental. Now here is saying which has been dubiously, तो secretly या फिर छुपा के doubtfully किया जाता है. Doubtfully incorporated, बिना बताए incorporate क्या. जब भी आप कुछ भी doubt है मतलब आपको मालूम नहीं अंदर क्या चल रहा है. This exercise has also not been uniform for all citizens, despite the usage of Aadhaar not being, अभी normally हम लोग बोलते हैं use of Aadhaar card, usage of Aadhaar card not being mandatory, that is compulsory इसका meaning है. It appears that health IDs have only been created for citizens who provided their Aadhaar card for verification. Others who furnish their PAN card or other identity cards have not yet been allotted the UHID, while it may be argued that citizens willfully shared their Aadhaar details. It has to be borne in mind that this consent was the sole and standalone purpose of verifying their identity at the time of vaccination and not for the creation of health ID. Now standalone ये word है ना, ऐसा होता है इसका मतलब independent, separate. Now see, here the word is in a different way. Aadhaar card details, it has to be borne in mind that this consent was for the sole and standalone purpose, मतलब simple एक separate purpose of verifying their identity. तो आपको standalone कहाँ पर use करना है ये आपको knowledge धीरे धीरे आएगा. It's not कि आपने ये note down कर लिया, you will be starting using it. But if you keep on reading surreptitiously, dubious, ये सारे words आपको repeat हो गए, reiterate करना. Therefore, in the absence of necessary knowledge of the purpose for which data is being collected, valid consent could not have been given. Such actions are in direct violation of Section 6 in bracket 3 of the Aadhaar and Other Laws Amendment Act 2019. See, when we read Aadhaar and Other Laws Amendment Act 2019 में आया है, ये भी knowledge हमको मिल जाती है, which provides that voluntary use of Aadhaar number by way of authentication means the use of such Aadhaar number only with the informed consent of the Aadhaar number holder. What's even more baffling is that NDHM has been implemented in the absence of any legislation. Legislation का मतलब है law होता है. In the absence of law बोलते हैं हम लोग. लेकिन देखो word क्या use किया? In the absence of legislation. Very well written article that gives legal backing, legal support नहीं बोला, legal backing to it, or even envisages the second time आया एक ही article में. It's a legal article जो आपको बार एंड बेंच पर मिलेगा. इट्स इम्प्लीमेंटेशन. नाउ द फर्स्ट वर्ड, व्हाट्स इवन मोर बैफलिंग. बैफलिंग मतलब चकरा देने वाला, उलझाने वाला. और आई वुड से इन इंग्लिश द नेक्स्ट वर्ड इज पजलिंग. ये पजलिंग है, आपकी समझ में नहीं है, उलझाने वाला है. इट्स व्हाट्स इवन मोर बैफलिंग इज दैट NDHM हैज बीन इम्प्लीमेंटेड. तो इफ यू यूज दिस लीगल वोकेबलरी, ट्रस्ट में आपको बहुत ही फायदा होगा. एंड सेकेंडली यू विल नो कि एक्चुअली बिग लॉयर्स जो वर्ड्स यूज करते हैं, when you go to Supreme Court, High Court, how they are using it. They have also not learned from their mother's womb. They have, of course, actually they have worked very hard, very difficult for that. Trust me, I am a very small person, but I know little bit, and this is the knowledge I want to share with you. That's why I am telling you, kindly start reading, and the success of our profession or the way you will succeed in future depends on what you are reading. If you want to make your tomorrow successful, you have to work hard. तो आपका जो आने वाला कल है वो कैसे सक्सेसफुल होगा? आप आज जो करेंगे, whatever you do today will decide your tomorrow. तो सक्सेस का बहुत छोटा छोटा मंत्र है. वन इज हार्ड वर्क. तो हार्ड वर्क का मतलब है कोई बहुत किताबें उठानी नहीं है. whatever comes your way, कुछ भी इंग्लिश का कोई भी चीज आए, मोस्टली आई वुड से बिकॉज इन लीगल फील्ड, आपको लीगल फील्ड के बारे में नॉलेज है. इफ इट इज अ डॉक्टर तो डॉक्टर की फील्ड में पड़ेगा. जब पेंडेमिक लगा तो मेरा एक क्लाइंट डॉक्टर डेंटिस्ट है, मैंने पूछा व्हाट आर यू डूइंग नाउ? आई एम तो रीडिंग लीगल. ही टोल्ड मी वेरी नाइसली, बहुत सारे ऑनलाइन लेक्चर्स हो रहे हैं डेंटिस्ट्री के फील्ड में, एंड देयर आर मेनी आर्टिकल्स ऑन द इंटरनेट व्हिच आई एम रीडिंग एंड आई एम अपडेटिंग माय नॉलेज. सी द वर्ड्स यूज्ड बाय हिम, मैं अपना नॉलेज अपडेट कर रहा हूँ. तो आपको भी मतलब मैं माय फ्रेंड्स आई एम टेलिंग यू, अपडेट योर नॉलेज लीगल. इट मे बी 1 hour, इट मे बी 10 words a day. तो आई विल ट्राई टू डू मतलब 100 words in 10 days. And even out of the 100 words, we are able to use 5 words in our regular life as a lawyer before court. The judge gets impressed because जो जज को होता है, आपको बोलता है जज को परसुएड करना है. May I please your honor? If you draft an application, तो लाइन होती है may it please your honor. तो क्यों बोलते हैं? प्लीज का वर्ड क्या है? या तो खुश करना है, या परसुएड करना है, या आपको प्लीज कर हम्बली बोल रहे हो. तो आपको वो ही ट्राई करना है कि आप कितना अच्छे से कर सकते हैं. तो हाउ यू विल प्लीज योर लॉर्डशिप व्हेन यू विल स्पीक गुड वर्ड्स. सो दैट इज द की, एंड दिस इज व्हाट इवन इफ यू टेक फ्रॉम टुडेज दिस, आई वुड से आज के सेशन से आप इतनी सी चीज ले जाओगे तो भी आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा है. एंड थैंक यू सो मच फॉर अटेंडिंग. नाउ आई विल गिव इट टू शाह मैम, दैट इज लवदी. लवदी वीडियो ऑन कीजिएगा और आपको अनम्यूट कर लीजिएगा प्लीज.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Audible, dear.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me the opportunity to present the vote of thanks. Myself, Labdi Shah, and it is my immense pleasure, as I said. I would like to take this opportunity and present my gratitude to Advocate Anita Bafna, ma'am, for sharing the treasure of her knowledge with us budding lawyers. And I would also like to thank Vandana, ma'am, for giving the opportunity to present the vote of thanks and coordinating with all of us so smoothly. I would also like to thank my fellow lawyer friends who have attended this session patiently, and I am very much thankful to majorly to Anita ma'am for sharing this very much minute details, very small details, but which are much more important in our future. So thank you everyone, and I shall see you very soon.
Thank you so much for attending.